Welcome back to our channel, and if you're new here, thank you for checking us out. In this video, we show the full process of building our own privacy fence. If you're thinking about building your own privacy fence, or you enjoy fence building videos in general, I hope this video is both informative and entertaining. The first thing we started with was setting corner posts. This required us to dig holes about 30 inches deep, which we will demonstrate later in this video. We also set each post in at least 2 bags of concrete. As you can see, Tyler and I were lucky enough to have 2 helping hands. Tyler's parents were generous enough to visit from out of town to help us build our fence. Before we dug our holes, we were sure to carefully mark the ground where each post would go. We spaced the posts by about 8 feet on center, which was the length of the board that would be screwed in horizontally to the posts. Once we knew where the holes had to be dug, we, and I really mostly mean Tyler's dad, began digging with a hand auger. There are powered augers, and you will see one later in this video, but for reasons which I will explain later, we had to dig all of our holes by hand. With every post we set, we had to constantly check that it was level in all directions. Once the concrete mixture cured, we backfilled the holes with dirt. This is a gas-powered auger that we rented from Home Depot. Unfortunately, the auger wasn't able to penetrate more than 12 inches into the ground, so we opted to switch back to the hand auger. Once the holes were dug, we began setting the posts that spanned the length of the fence line. We decided to set each post with 2 bags of concrete to be sure that the fence would hold up for as long as possible. The concrete will help the fence from leaning, which is largely caused by wind and water. Once the posts were in and the concrete was cured, we began screwing in 2x4s horizontally. These 2x4s will allow us to screw in vertical planks. We ran a string between posts at a height of exactly 6 feet off the ground for most of the fence line. This string helps as a guide for installing the vertical planks. That way, you have a clean, straight fence line. I said 6 feet for most of the fence line, but we actually started a little taller at the back of our property. One helpful tip if you need to cut any planks is to hold them up to the string line and mark where the string touches the plank. This will ensure you're cutting each board perfectly. Although not necessary, you may want to consider investing in a nail gun if you plan to build a lot of fence. This will save you from a ton of hammering. Some of our posts were too tall, but a chainsaw solved that problem. As you may have already noticed, our dogs enjoyed the fence building process as well. Although we don't always practice this ourselves, and there really is no excuse, we do highly recommend wearing the proper protective gear when working with any power tool. This may include eye protection, closed-toed shoes, or gloves. When we worked on the back portion of the fence, we decided to add onto the existing fence since it was still in good condition. We added some 2x4s to make the framing of the fence a little taller so that we could run the fence at 8 feet across the whole back of the property. With every plank we installed, we checked to make sure that it was level and perfectly perpendicular to the ground. We decided to add some lights to the top of the posts bordering the gate. In order to do this, we added some extra height to these particular posts. We installed planks on the inside and outside of the portions of fence facing the road. Time to build the gate. We found these cool gate brackets at Lowe's, which also included hinges. We had plenty of dog supervision when building the gate. This gate must have weighed at least 150 pounds, so it really wasn't all that easy to install. And now time for the final reveal. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching, and consider giving us a follow.